What if the greatest WWE rivalries weren't the ones we remember, but the ones that never happened? Imagine a universe where forgotten contenders clashed in epic showdowns, reshaping wrestling history as we know it. With that question, we invite the viewer to explore the allure of what-if booking in wrestling. There's a special thrill in speculating about missed opportunities, the matches we never got but can still imagine in vivid detail. Legends like The Undertaker versus Sting or Hogan versus Austin have been debated for years. But this video looks at a different tier of stars, those underrated rivalries that could have been. Many of the wrestlers we'll discuss were never purely short-lived gimmicks. They were proven performers with main event potential. For example, Cesaro has earned a reputation for impressive in-ring feats of strength and was called one of WWE's best and most underrated performers. He even won the Wrestling Observer Newsletter's Most Underrated Wrestler award 4 years running, 2013 to 2016. en.wikipedia.org. Similarly, Rusev was voted the Observer's Most Underrated in 2017, and critics noted his size and skill made it hard to believe that he has failed to crack the main event picture. In this context, underrated means more than a brief push. It means top-tier ability that was never fully realized on TV. Today we'll sketch out 3 such dream feuds. First, Dolph Ziggler versus Cody Rhodes, a battle of 2 road warriors whose main event moments were delayed. Second, Cesaro versus Samoa Joe, a technical masterclass pairing 2 brute force technicians. And finally, Rusev versus Drew McIntyre, a power struggle between 2 of WWE's biggest personalities. Each of these matchups offers untapped potential and chemistry that could have led to legendary series. Let's set the stage for these undercard gems and explore why fans are still talking about the dream matches that never happened. The Forgotten Seeds, setting the stage. Fans have always been captivated by the what-if scenarios in wrestling. Fantasy booking and dream matches are part of the fabric of the fandom. They let us relive nostalgia while imagining fresh stories. These hypothetical rivalries tap into our imagination and ignite nostalgia, asking us to reconsider wrestling history from a new angle. Sometimes it's as simple as wondering how 2 technicians might battle or how 2 strong personalities might collide. Even official media recognize this interest. For example, WWE and sports outlets often feature articles on dream matches waiting to happen. But what makes certain unrealized feuds especially compelling? It's when both competitors have proven skills and unfinished stories, suggesting a narrative that could have elevated both stars. In defining underrated rivalries, we look for matchups that never got proper time but show serious promise. This is not about quick one-off matches or flavor-of-the-week angles. It's about pairing wrestlers who each have main event credentials or cult followings. Consider Cesaro. During his WWE run, fans and analysts often noted how he was underutilized despite enormous in-ring talent. en.wikipedia.org or Rusev, who despite coming in as an unstoppable monster, lamented in 2017 that he was not being showcased the way he should be given his size, ring work, and ability. en.wikipedia.org. Those quotes highlight exactly the sense of wasted potential behind our definition of underrated. Now let's preview the lineup. We'll be diving into rivalries built on parallel journeys and contrasting styles. For each pair, think of the star power and acclaim they already have. Dolph Ziggler is a multi-time world champion and known for his crazy selling ability, and Cody Rhodes has since become a WWE champion and a top-shelf personality. Cesaro and Samoa Joe each have reputations for brute strength and technical mastery. WWE itself filmed their Raw match in slow motion, calling it a brutal clash. Rusev is a 3-time U.S. champion, and Drew McIntyre is a former WWE champion and Royal Rumble winner. If these men had been booked to feud in longer series, they could have blown our minds, weaving new chapters into wrestling lore. Let's dive into each showdown. Unleashed potential, the undercard gems. Dolph Ziggler versus Cody Rhodes. Dolph Ziggler and Cody Rhodes both spent years as top-tier workers who, until recently, had limited single-player time at WrestleMania's main table. Ziggler is a veteran showman, a two-time world heavyweight champion and six-time Intercontinental champion, celebrated for his resiliency and uncanny selling. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, also has a storied background. He was a two-time WWE Intercontinental champion and multi-time tag champion in WWE, and has since returned to ultimately capture WWE's undisputed championship. During their WWE runs, both men often felt overlooked as the company's top titles slipped away. A Ziggler vs. Rhodes program would unite two unfulfilled main eventers, each bringing veteran savvy and star power. Their styles would make for a classic encounter. Ziggler is known for soaking up punishment and rallying. His patented Ziggler DDT or super kick after taking a sweet chin music are legendary in fan circles, while Rhodes combines traditional old-school heel tactics with a strong strike-based offense. As one analyst noted, the blend of Rhodes' old-school heel mentality and Ziggler's incredible bumping and selling abilities has all the makings of a classic WrestleMania match. Indeed, the commercial viability is clear. Both men had legitimate championship runs, and pitting them against each other would have let WWE deepen their story arcs, rather than ending at mid-card status. In a hypothetical feud, we can imagine Ziggler and Cody trading sharp promos, perhaps arguing who's the better technician or a bigger champion, leading to an epic showdown of psychology and athleticism. For instance, Ziggler's free spirit antics, remember it's guaranteed gags, versus Cody's fiery intensity could have made for memorable storytelling. In the ring, the match itself will be a dream match of endurance and reversals. We know both have great stamina. They even twice shared a tag match early in their careers as WWE superstars, but never locked up one-on-one. This dream booking would let Ziggler's resiliency collide with Rhodes' opportunism. Picture Ziggler hitting a zigzag on Rhodes and Cody flopping out of the ring to buy time, or Rhodes targeting Ziggler's knee to cut off his comeback. With both stars eventually destined for championship gold, a program between them would feel natural. By any measure, these two are legitimate contenders. Ziggler held world titles twice, and Rhodes is now a WWE World Champion. The fact they never had a marquee singles series is astonishing to fans. It's precisely why a Ziggler versus Rhodes rivalry ranks among the greatest dream matches waiting to happen. Cesaro versus Samoa Joe. Cesaro and Samoa Joe represent a union of clashing, hard-hitting styles that the WWE audience never fully got to see in a long program. Cesaro is renowned for blending technical prowess with raw power. His springboard uppercuts and neutralizers demonstrate freakish strength. As WWE's own materials note, he earned a reputation for impressive in-ring feats of strength and was widely regarded as one of WWE's most underrated performers. He even won multiple tag titles and the prestigious Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but rarely got the singles spotlight many fans felt he deserved. Samoa Joe, on the other hand, is a former multi-time world champion in TNA/ROH and a two-time United States champion in WWE. Joe burst onto the scene with a stiff, MMA-like style. Early in his career, ROH observers marveled that fans were taken aback by his extremely stiff and hard-hitting style that resembled a mixed martial arts fighter more than a wrestler. His feats include a record-setting 645-day ROH World Championship reign and a legendary 5-star series with CM Punk. If ever two ring veterans were made for a war, it's Cesaro versus Samoa Joe. Their combination of power, technical wrestling, and brute strike techniques could produce an intense, physical series. WWE itself has hinted at the brutality these two can unleash. In March 2017, WWE posted a slow-motion video titled, "Relive the Brutal Clash Between Cesaro and Samoa Joe," after their Raw match. That snippet captured Cesaro's massive diving crossbody and Joe's lethal strikes, underscoring what a violent spectacle their matchup was. Both men are game to fight anyone. Cesaro even took up a U.S. title battle with Joe on TV, Cesaro versus Joe in the 2019 King of the Ring, but they never had a proper feud. A sustained feud could have been a true technical masterclass. Imagine Joe's relentless suplexes and submission holds going up against Cesaro's European uppercuts and strength-based slams. Each has a methodical, ground-based offense, Cesaro with tight holds and Joe with deep ankle locks, which could segue into several clutch reversals. Remember Joe's muscle buster on Curtis Axel or Cesaro's giant swing madness? In this feud, they would trade such highlights. The chemistry is there on paper. Cesaro's finesse offset by Joe's explosiveness, culminating in anything from submission duels to slugfests. The potential was recognized by pundits. One analyst remarked that a Cesaro-Joe encounter would be a match none of the fans want to miss, hinting at how their styles complement each other. In sum, both men were proven big fight competitors, and yet WWE never truly showcased a long-run program between them. That unrealized opportunity is a classic example of underrated chemistry. The crowd never got to see Cesaro in a major feud with another deserving veteran like Samoa Joe, which only heightens our fascination in this dream scenario. Rusev versus Drew McIntyre. Finally, consider a conflict between powerhouses Rusev and Drew McIntyre. These two behemoths share a lot in common. Both are over 6'4" with a warrior-themed persona, and each has held significant titles. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, stormed to the top by winning the 2020 Royal Rumble and defeating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36. He's a two-time WWE Champion and also captured Money in the Bank 2024, achievements that make him one of WWE's elite stars today. Rusev, now Miro in AEW, but known in WWE for years as the Bulgarian Brute, had multiple U.S. title reigns, 3 in total, and was often positioned as an unstoppable force. In 2015-16, Rusev even feuded with top names like John Cena and challenged for the world title. Despite these credits, critics long felt he deserved a main event push. One insider summed it up bluntly: Rusev has been quite the company man, not showcased the way he should be given his size, ring work, and ability. Hard to believe that he has failed to crack the main event picture. In WWE canon, McIntyre became a proven champion and a WWE mainstay, while Rusev, as Miro, became an AEW champion, proving his legitimacy. What would their feud look like? It would be a power struggle of titans. Each man could legitimately call himself the Alpha. Drew has the Royal Rumble bragging rights and headline experience, while Rusev has the super athlete, aura, and a rugged style. Fans would expect brutal brawling, claymore kicks versus Machka throws, and also dramatic storytelling. For instance, Drew's blockbuster pop at WrestleMania 36, beating Lesnar, could be contrasted with Rusev's impressive near reign at the U.S. title. Perhaps Rusev would try to goad Drew into a fight by insulting Scotland and Lana, or Drew might target Rusev's pride by calling him glorified opening act. A long-term feud here could cement both as top heels. Imagine a scenario where each man uses patriotic rhetoric, the proud Scot versus the patriotic Bulgarian, to rile crowds, turning their matches into ideological wars. WWE could even mirror their real-life trajectories, e.g., building to a big rematch at a SummerSlam where the loser is banished, a nod to Rusev's U.S. title loss to Reigns. Given how powerful McIntyre and Rusev are individually, a drawn-out storyline would only amplify their star power. In hindsight, it's easy to see that a sustained program could have pushed them further. As one commentator noted, many wrestling media believe these dominant forces deserve to be in the main event scene together. In summary, Rusev versus Drew McIntyre is the ultimate missed power feud. Two men who have already been strong singles attractions, whose clash would naturally keep both at the top of the card. Even though Rusev eventually left WWE, fans still remember the potential of his dynamic with Drew, especially after Drew's meteoric rise. It's the perfect what-if. Each man's career indicated they could have reached greater heights by locking horns, solidifying their legacies in WWE as true giants who overcame the rest of the roster. Through these hypothetical matchups, we see a common thread. Each involves two underrated stars with undeniable chemistry. Oh, by the way, Rusev is now back, but he is currently in Raw, and Drew McIntyre is in SmackDown. Both of them are having a match at Clash in Paris with Drew facing Cody and Rusev facing Sheamus. I hope in the near future, we will be able to see Rusev against Drew. Ziggler and Rhodes are both resilient former champions. Cesaro and Joe are both technical bruisers. Rusev and McIntyre are two alpha personalities. In each case, the ingredients for a classic feud were there, but the WWE timeline never aligned to make it happen. That's why these scenarios still captivate us. They remind fans of all the hidden chapters that could have been written, and why we keep saying, the greatest matches aren't always the ones that happened. Sometimes they're the ones that were only dreamed. And there you have it. 3 rivalries that could have redefined eras in WWE. These weren't just fantasy bookings. They were stories waiting to be told. Ziggler versus Rhodes would have given us a generational showcase of heart and showmanship. Cesaro versus Samoa Joe would have been a violent love letter to pure wrestling. And Rusev versus Drew McIntyre. That's the power clash we never got, but always deserved. Wrestling fans live off these what-ifs because they remind us that every performer carries untapped potential. The question is, which dream rivalries do you wish we'd seen? Drop them in the comments. I'll be watching. And if you enjoyed this dive into wrestling's missed opportunities, hit like, subscribe, and let's keep dreaming together. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers by end of September. Remember, in wrestling, the greatest rivalries aren't always the ones that happened. Sometimes, they're the ones we missed. Let's meet in the next video.